Hello, good morning, everybody. This is Kelly J. Welcome to From Light to Christ podcast, Light to Christ podcast. I practiced that for a while to figure out how to get it to land correctly. I think I figured it out. From Light to Christ. I love it. And I'm going to be sharing today a blog I wrote. It's really a pathway forward because we're all growing forward together. So it's really an article that I have been working on for a while. And then I posted it on Medium last night, shared about it on Facebook. And so this will go out on my podcast and on my Kelly J. Wright YouTube content creators page. Just wanted to get in here and really seal this into this timestamp of today. Okay. So bear with me. We are just going to go straight in and then I'm going to time step out. I got a busy day today. I hope you do too. And I'm wishing everyone a happy Friday. Okay. So, everyone, this is called The Mirror of Narcissa, why I am writing this book. So, if you haven't been following along lately, because of my symbols, myths, and archetypes class, we've been taking it in a new direction and it's not new. I think God's been poking and prodding me to remember to go back to write about and share the story in the way that He's taught me. And so I could share it with others. And now we're going to do it in a really cool way. And it goes like this. For as long as I can remember, mirrors have called to me, not only as objects of reflection, but as portals. To gaze into a mirror is to stand at a threshold of self, of shadow, of soul. We think of mirrors as surfaces, but I have always known them as doorways. This knowing became the seed for my next book, The Mirror of Narcissa. It's not simply a retelling of an old myth, it is my story, our story, the human story of how reflection can wound us, heal us, and transform us. Narcissus and Echo, the myth that planted the seed. The Greek myth of Narcissus is often told as a warning against vanity. A beautiful youth, Narcissus, rejects all who love him until one day he sees his reflection in a pool of water and falls fatally in love with his own image. Echo, the nymph who adored him, could only repeat his words back to him, a haunting symbol of longing without connection. But in my heart, I've always carried a different version of the story, one where Narcissus was not just vain, but lonely, a demigod, a hunter, one who excelled at everything. Yet when he heard Echo's disembodied voice, he was tormented by the search for a love he could not see. At that pool, he met not vanity, but his own subconscious voice, the fearful self mind that traps us all. In my retelling, Narcissus does not drown because of arrogance. He drowns in his own reflections looking for love. He dies to the old self, the fearful, mind driven self, or as I've called it in my self love mastery journeys, the mind based self, so that he can be reborn as the Narcissus flower. This to me is the real myth that we must all drown metaphorically to be reborn or rebooted into real time. That true beauty and worth come not from the reflection, but from the soul within, rooted in God. Living the myth from winter to spring. Over the years, this myth became the foundation of my internal Narcissus 90-day transformation journey. Every winter, I invite people into the work of transformation, facing their shadows, confronting their old patterns, and surrendering to rebirth. By spring, when the Narcissus flowers bloom, so too do the souls who have walked the path. This cycle of winter, death, and spring rebirth echoes the deepest rhythms of nature and even the resurrection story itself. Narcissus blooms in the spring, just as the spirit blooms after the long night of transformation. Mirrors across cultures, a universal language. Myth, I have learned, is a universal language. While Narcissus is the story that first found me, I have since discovered other mirrors across cultures that resonate with my own journey. In Japan, the Yatanogami Kagami, the sacred eight-span mirror, was used to lure the sun goddess Amaterasu from her cave, restoring light to the world. In that moment, the mirror was not a trap, but a revelation of truth, a way of seeing oneself clearly. In Mesoamerican tradition, obsidian mirrors were tools of vision, portals used by shamans and by the god Tezcatlipoca, the smoky mirror. They showed not just reflection, but destiny, shadow, and the unseen. These myths too live in me. The mirror chambers of my own journey echo the purification of the Japanese mirror. The shadow work I endured resonates with the smoky obsidian portals of the Aztec world. And my first descent, like Narcissus, was into the drowning waters of my own reflection. It is uncanny then. Is it uncanny then that just as I began studying the Yata no Kagami, my cousin told me she longed to travel to Japan, high into the mountains? Coincidence? Perhaps. But I've come to trust these synchronicities. They are Sophia's way, wisdom's way of showing me that I am on the right path. Why this book now? The Mirror of Narcissa is not only a book I'm writing, it is a labyrinth I'm walking. Each myth is a turning, each chamber a test, each reflection a choice to remain stuck in the image or to move through it into light. This is the journey of our time. We live in an age of endless mirrors, not only glass, but screens, images, projections of ourselves. Many drown in them, but the mirror was never meant to be a grave. It was meant to be a passage. This book is my offering to show how we can walk through the mirror into transformation, into God's light, into rebirth and resurrection, to walk into love. And I have come to know in my journey as a heart based being an invitation. I do not write alone. Each reader, each soul who pauses at their own reflection is a companion on this path. So I ask you, which mirrors in your life have shown you not just your face, but your soul, or even your shadow? When have you been called to drown a little or to set aside pride so you could die to the old self and rise stronger? When have you let God renew your mind so that you could be reborn? The Mirror of Narcissa is just the beginning to unfold, and I would be honored to have you walk this labyrinth with me as we bring her story, our story, humanity's story, to life. You can follow along here on the podcast, or you can reach out and follow me on Facebook, where our community is choosing covers and reflections for the series together. We are opening the conversation to make it more fun and collaborative. I have been walking towards this my entire life, and many of you have walked part of it with me. This is truly a shared journey. If you are new, welcome. Every heart is welcome and needed, and we're all in this together. In love and light, Kelly J. We'll see you next week.